Hey everybody, welcome to our very first Karate America community live stream. I'm Mrs. Quirk, and with me tonight is Brookfield's very own Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Absolutely, thank you for having me. I feel honored to be the very first guest on our live stream.
On our inaugural live stream, yeah. So we're really excited to be doing this. This is the first time, obviously, that we're doing the live stream. So for any of our families, community members that are watching on our private group page, just so you know how it goes, you'll be able to leave a comment. You should see, I believe it's above us, under the little heading, there's a little blurb that says go to, I think it's streamyard.com/Facebook. And that's how you can give us permission to show your name. Otherwise, you just show up as Facebook user, which is okay, but I'm just going to be talking to a lot of Facebook users tonight. So if you are okay and your picture, go ahead and give that permission. And the StreamYard is just the platform that we use for streaming this. So go ahead and let us know. Mr. Quirk, thank you for saying that you're very excited. And I'm gonna pop you over here. So that, guys, is what it looks like if you give us permission to use your name and your picture in the comments tonight. just want to say we are going to get to as many questions as we possibly can tonight. If we don't get to your question, fear not, because we will keep track and try to get back to you as soon as possible, sometime after the live stream. So again, thanks for being with us. We're probably going to go tonight for maybe 15, 20 minutes. We just might, if rumor has it, that Mr. Hansen has a very special surprise for our very first live stream tonight. So stick with us right to the end if you'd like to be part of that surprise. He told me about it earlier and I'm excited for it. So I'll be here the whole time. So hang out with us for the next 15, 20 minutes. Tonight, we're going to be talking about candidate class. We're going to be talking about advanced degree training. We're going to be talking about master's team and that part of the Black Belt and beyond journey. So Mr. Hansen, before we get started with some of our questions, anything you want to say to the people that are tuning in? We got some people. Hey, it's really good to have you guys on the stream tonight. What would you like to say to all your raging fans that are tuning in tonight to watch you?
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. And I kind of let the cat out of the bag during classes as to what the surprise was going to be. So I couldn't keep the surprise. I was so excited about it.
Why am I not surprised? You're just always like bubbling with excitement, Mr. Hansen. That's great.
So yeah, I'm going to have a blast with this. Thank you guys for being here. Ms. App, excellent. I love, first off, the intro music. Are you kidding me? That was awesome.
How did you like that? I mean,
it was pretty rocking.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the countdown music. Yeah, it's like Club KA on a Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. What else do we have to do on a cold, snowy night, but just kind of jam out with the Karate America community for 5 minutes, right?
Exactly.
And I know if Mr. Pieper is watching, he's extra proud of me because I told him I had a countdown today and he was like chuckling. I'm like, no, really, I actually do. So, hey, Ms. DeWade, good to have you with us. Awesome to have you on the stream. We got Ms. Hansen. We got almost all the Hansens in the house tonight. We just need your mom and dad, sir. I know they're students. We need Mrs. Hansen. She's also a student. Thanks, Mr. Pieper. Yep. That means a lot coming from you, sir. Mrs. Bray, of course, supporting the team tonight. Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to get started off, Mr. Hansen. Let's get to why we're talking here tonight. We are, one of the first things that I'd like to talk about is candidate class. So we throw around a lot of terms in the Karate America community for you and I and people that do this for a living. Candidate class makes perfect sense. But just if somebody were just to walk up to you and be like, what's a candidate? What's candidate class? What are these separate classes? Can you just give us an overview of what the intention is with candidate class and the definition?
Absolutely. So our candidate class is the class the students take just before they take their black belt test. On a Saturday in spring and in winter, kind of late fall, early winter, the students are eligible they work their way to be eligible to test to earn their black belt. The test happens on a Saturday. It's about 2 to 2.5 hours long. And it's a test that tests them on the martial arts they've learned, but it's also a test about how much they've grown mentally and physically or mentally and emotionally with their strength. It's a 2.5 hour continuous exam of physical work. And they get uncomfortable. They are going to be pushed to a level that they may have never been pushed to before. Candidate class is meant to prepare them for that.
Yeah, they are a candidate to earn their first degree black belt or possibly an advanced degree black belt, right? So that's where the term candidate comes from. They have proven and earned up to that point that they have earned the right to be a candidate to earn a black belt in our system.
Correct. So not everyone passes the test. Not everyone makes it through candidate class. That's where they are a candidate and they are eligible to, as long as they do what they need to be doing, not only in the class, but at home and at school as well. We don't forget about those areas. It doesn't all of a sudden turn into kicking and punching as our main focus, even in candidate class. Yeah. We are still, what matters is how the students are acting like black belts outside of our academy, how they're living the purpose and values, and how they're growing as humans.
Right. And hey guys, just so if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Mr. Hansen tonight. The first topic that we're talking about on our very first live stream is candidate class and what it takes and just some of the pieces around when students enter in that really, really special part of their journey to black belt and beyond, which is becoming a candidate to test for their black belt. So if you have a question or an insight or a thought or something that you would like Mr. Hansen to answer, please go ahead and post your comment in the chat. You can go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and then we'll be able to actually see your name and your picture when you're sending that question to Mr. Hansen. So bring him on, bring him, challenge him tonight and ask him some questions. So Mr. Hansen, something that has always really struck me as a piece of the candidate class and the journey to black belt and beyond is I think that a lot of people feel that black belt is the end, right? So a first degree black belt is like cross the finish line, checkered flags, I've done it, and now great, there was my martial arts journey. And I've been privileged and fortunate enough to be around. I was in the martial arts industry before I even met Mr. Quirk. So I've met a lot of martial artists and had that privilege over the past 20 plus years. And the people who are really, really committed to martial arts and to being a black belt, they all say the same thing, no exaggeration, that first degree black belt is basically becoming a student. So my training in underbelts they share with me is I'm training to become a student, I'm training to become to learn. Now I earned my first degree black belt and I truly am a student of the martial arts. And the advanced degrees after first degree are that the really interesting and nuanced journey of a black belt. Can you speak a little bit about that? Is that your experience?
Absolutely, and I'm just so you know, just so anyone who's watching, I'm turning my mic on and off here, so that way Mrs. Quirk's voice, I've got her on speaker, so it doesn't cross with our sound here. Yeah, it's a mastering of the basics at this point of becoming a first degree, and it really opens the door for a really cool new level of taking and applying what we learned on the mat floor. We spend this amount of time from white belt to black belt learning a side kick from very basic level. Well, at first to second degree, we get to now take and do some cool things with the side kick because we don't need to know, okay, which leg do I kick with? Which leg, how do I pull a chamber back? We can now take and work on how do I stop somebody from coming at me just with one kick? Where we're not going to worry about that at young achiever. At young achiever level, it's like, okay, make sure your stomach is facing the correct way. And once we've got that, now we can learn about the kick. Black belt, we have that knowledge, and it's like taking the analogy that I've heard with it from other martial arts instructors is it's like climbing a mountain. Going from white belt to black belt is gathering all the gear. It's getting my map. It's meeting the people I'm climbing this mountain with. And then when I hit black belt, I'm actually just at base camp. I haven't even started to climb and move my way up the mountain. That's what first to second degree, second to third is. Now I'm starting to scale the mountain. But in order to do that, I got to have the right gear. I got to have the right straps. I got to have all
and be
all
prepared and
be prepared for it.
Yeah. I love that analogy. Yeah, thank you for that. We actually have our first question here, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it up for you, Mr. Hansen. Savannah's struggling with doing her push-ups. Any suggestions? Here's a real pragmatic nuts and bolts question about training. I love it.
Absolutely. So the way we start with push-ups, I'm going to step back and I'm actually going to show you, is I start with students in plank. Just gain the base of building the strength with the upper body and the shoulders. So we'll start with plank. What I want to see when we're doing plank is the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. There's my feet. My back is flat. A lot of times students will do one of these where they turn into a pyramid, or they'll come down here like this. I want my back flat, heels pointed away, and I just tilt the knot of my belt towards my nose. So that way my stomach is flexing. But the main key here is get those hands underneath the shoulders. Once a student can hold this for 30 seconds, then we can start to move down to the elbows. We're starting to simulate an actual lowering to the ground. It's not simulate, but actually doing a lowering to the ground and pushing back up movement. Hands underneath the shoulders still. Here, keep the seat from wobbling back and forth. Keep that strong there. Once you've gotten that down, and this gets pretty easy going for 30 to 40 seconds, then you can start to move down to push-ups. And I just go about 2 inches at a time. For push-ups, the things I'm looking for, and the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Again, same as the plank. Heels are pushed back. My nose points down to the space between my hands. I extend down and up. Level 1, just go down 2 inches, push back up. Level 2, go another 2 inches down. And we start to move down. As the students become stronger, they move about an inch at a time down. And that's after doing about 10. Once a student can do 10 at a very easy level where they don't feel challenged anymore, then I suggest the students go to the next inch down to where they're to point. Ideal black belt level is 2 inches off the ground, or my chest is just hitting the ground, and I push back up, down and up. But you can start with plank, then move down to the elbows and push back up.
Thank you for that, Mr. Hansen. That's awesome. We are getting some more questions here. Mr. Quirk is asking, Mr. Hansen, please talk about the candidate evaluation we do with brown and brown stripes.
Absolutely. So candidate evaluation test for Brookfield is going to be on March 9th and March 11th. I'm splitting up the nights so that I can spread everybody out. There'll be enough room for a student to be able to take their test. Each student only needs to attend one of those nights. Sign up on the app to sign up for your spot on the night you'd like. It's an hour from 8 until 9. I'm evaluating myself and a number of black belts and instructors will evaluate the memorization of each form. This, if you look up into the sky looking for the answers on the ceiling in the middle of a move, your student may not have the form memorized. If they're looking at the ground, if they do the wrong part, these are the things we're looking for. If they can go through from start to beginning of journey, freedom, and inspire, hit each part, have it memorized, they pass the form section. They must demonstrate their basic kicks. So front kick, round kick, wheel kick, side kick, intermediate and advanced belt kicks as well. They also will do a fit test, and the parents will count and do the scoring for them. So they need to score a total of 250 combined of all 5 moves. All 5 moves include push-up, crunchy frog, jab punch kick, a round kick, and then jab punch. The total score is what matters. So if they're doing 10 push-ups, they just have to make up for the number that they couldn't get with push-ups in other areas.
Hey, Mr. Hansen, thank you for that. How many weeks does candidate class last? And is it always the same for every single class of candidates, or does it vary?
It's varied throughout the years. I mean, Mr. Quirk would be able to speak to this a little bit differently. I'm sure when they were back running miles, I don't think it was in the 6 weeks that we do it currently. But right now, the way I'm running in Brookfield, and I believe the way Mr. Kozlowski runs it in Pewaukee, is it's a 6-week additional training. And it's 2 times per week for an hour. First degrees will train on Mondays and Wednesdays, or first degree candidates who are working towards their first degree will train Monday and Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. And then Tuesday and Thursday will be our advanced candidates. And they're going to train also from 8:15 to 9.
While we're on the topic, a nice segue to advanced degree candidates, we have this awesome comment from Ms. Hilbert. Cam is figuring out how old he will be to get to his 7th degree black belt.
Great question. This is going to involve some math.
Right. There's some math there, right? I always love whenever people are always like, okay, so I'm going to earn my 1st degree in May and then my 2nd degree in 2000 whatever, and figuring out how old they'll be when they get to 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th degree, which is awesome. So can you talk a little bit about, what would you say about advanced degree training, Mr. Hansen, to any of our parents and students out there watching? Because I feel like that's another part of our organization that gets a little mysterious. Right. So we sort of see advanced degrees go out in their red uniforms for master's team, and then we don't really see them. I think they get like stars or something on their uniforms, and then at a test they earn their next degree, but we don't really know maybe what happens in those advanced degree years. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So moving from 1st degree to 2nd degree, 2nd and 3rd. So the way, if Cam is going to be looking to see how old he is when he's 7th degree, he has to first find out it takes 2 years of training on the mat to earn a 2nd degree. It takes 3 years of floor time, mat training, to earn a 3rd degree. It takes 4 years to earn the 4th, 5 years to earn the 5th.
And these are minimums you're talking about, sir, right? These are minimums. And as my experiences with knowing a lot of advanced degrees, as people get older and, you know, kids and life and injury happens, sometimes it's not a clean 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we stay on track. But you are right. Those I always look, whatever degree they're testing to, that's how many years in between their previous degree they should be testing if everything went smoothly, and that's the bare minimum. Yeah.
Correct. And
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for an injury to happen. For like when I was moving to third degree, when I was eligible was when I sold my business, my printing business, and I moved to Karate America for full time. I was making that transition to operations manager full time and learning how to instruct. A lot of you guys have watched me from when I first started as instructing. I mean, you guys by our families to where I am today. And so there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, and my martial arts training itself wasn't my focus at that time. So I wasn't fully ready at the time when I was supposed to earn my next degree, because just life was going on and things were happening. But then, you know, when those life happens and then things settle down, and I'm able to put my focus back on my martial arts, where Mr. Quirk and I were training for a good year to get ready for our most recent tests that you guys watched.
Yeah.
So it's a common thing that happens.
Yeah. And as people get older and life gets more complicated and body parts start to wear out, it's more and more common to see the years in between the degrees expand. But I always think that it's really impressive because to your point, Mr. Hansen, it's so easy as an adult, as an accomplished martial artist and black belt like you, like Mr. Quirk, to just stop and say, good enough, right? I'm an advanced degree black belt, good enough. But when you guys push through kids and jobs and all kinds of things that happen as adults, it's really, really impressive to see you make that commitment and still go for that goal. Miss Hansen coming in for the win with the math. She's saying the minimum after doing the math from what Mr. Hansen is explaining is 25 more years. So if that is accurate, there you go. There's your answer, Cam. In 25 years, you'll be celebrating your 7th degree black belt. Mr. Quirk is asking, how often do candidates fail the black belt test? And Ms. Hansen actually had a question earlier saying, how will students know if they pass the test? What if they don't pass? This is a question we get a lot.
So what happens for candidate evaluation tests, they'll know within about 3 to 5 days after I've tallied all the scores, looked through everything, and then I've gotten on the phone and I call everybody individually, and I let you know whether your student passed or not. If they did not pass, they're usually the first people I call, and they have about a week to work on the things that they need to work on if they're in the ballpark of passing. If they hit, and by ballpark, I mean they knew every one of their kicks, they hit their fit test, they got over 250, they knew Inspire and Freedom, but they messed up a part on Journey. They will have a chance to show an instructor that they know Journey in that week. If they memorize all their forms, if they've done all their kicks, but they get a 200 out of 250 on their fit test, that's enough of a area for them to try it within the next week. There will be about a week between candidate evaluation tests and the start of candidate class. Once that candidate class starts, that's it. Who's ever in is in. So if a student just looks at me and says, I just don't know Freedom, they most likely are going to have to wait until the fall. And that's the whole point of this test, is to let them know what do they need to work on if they're not making it into candidate class. That's the benefit of taking the candidate evaluation test. The student will walk away knowing here's what you need to work on. Right. And that's the benefit of the brown belts taking the class. Brown belts are not meant traditionally to make it into candidate class because there's a whole section of the form and a kick they haven't learned yet in advanced belt. So the whole purpose of brown belts joining candidate evaluation test is to see, okay, I may not know Journey as well as I thought I did. This is what I need to work on for the next 6 months. So I'm ready in the fall when it's my turn, and I am meant to be taking this test and passing it.
Yeah, and I think that's such a smart piece, having the brown belts in at that evaluation level. And I think that it's almost like students being evaluated, but also the students and the families doing their own evaluation, to your point, like, hey, where do we stand? Where do I stand? What do I have to be working on? So really giving that touch base, that on purpose, very explicit touch base point for working moving forward. We've got, wow, that question about the seventh degree really brought in. Mr. Pieper is verifying that the math was right on that. So we can all rest easy now because it's been verified by our resident mathematician, Mr. Pieper. We have a Facebook user saying Mr. Lawler will be 72 when he hits seventh degree. And then we have a follow-up comment. Cam is shooting for 10th when he's 66. He says he will keep going till his body gets old and breaks. That is pretty much exactly what martial artists do. So he's on the right track.
Stretch. Start stretching now.
Keep
every
stretching.
day.
Lots of water,
Yoga.
lots of stretching. Ms. Wade is asking, what options do I have after my black belt? Where can I take my martial arts journey?
Great question.
Like live stream. I mean,
oh gosh, right? Yeah. Well, and this kind of piggybacks on what one of our team and families had asked before. So what is this moving from first degree, moving from second degree to third? What goes on there? Is that different? What happens?
Right.
Well, it's about depth of the technique. It's about depth of the form at this point. How do we make that side kick even better? To a certain extent, one of the coolest things about what I find to be one of the coolest things about martial arts is that I may have learned a side kick when I was an orange belt. But each time I get around to learning that rotation again, there's a new detail that I wasn't ready for. I wasn't awake to. I didn't see the first time I came through doing a side kick.
Sure. Yeah.
So oftentimes at black belt, we almost deconstruct a side kick and then rebuild it back up with techniques and little details that we're ready for at that point, that our bodies are ready for, that we're mentally ready to do to make our kicks even better. And one of them is like at black belt, there's a slide that happens with our side kick. So I can pick my knee up, I slide forward when I do my side kick. When a student is just beginning out, I'm not having them worry about that slide. The slide has more momentum and something we can do at black belt to make our kick more powerful and add depth to what we're doing. I'm not going to teach a basic belt the slide right off the bat.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, Mr. Hansen, I don't know how this happened, but we're already at 25 minutes on a live stream that I said was probably going to go 15, 20 minutes. But, we people in the KA community, we start talking about martial arts, and pretty soon we look at the clock and say, how did that happen? So I want to transition here to your very special semi-surprise. Before we do that, I want to make sure that we get some really important announcements here on the live stream for the KA community. So I know one of our big announcements we have going is we have spring break camp coming up. Can you just talk really, really briefly for anybody who might not know what's going on with spring break camp?
So spring break camp is going to be from March 26th to April 5th. We have a limited number of students, about 30 students or 30 kids will be eligible to be in it. We are a state licensed camp, so that includes our full day camp of spring break and then our summer camp. So ages 5 to 12 are eligible to be part of the camp. What we do, and the students, when they arrive in the morning, when the parents need to drop them off, we have a little bit of free time to play as the students arrive. They play with the games that we have at the academy. They socially interact while staying safe and healthy at the same time. Then we move into some games. We have our staples, the favorites, battle ball, snake game. There's plenty of that going on in our full day camps.
Yeah, it's gonna really cure that cabin fever that I think a lot of us have now that you and I were talking about today. Some of the squirreliness that's happening of Wisconsinites of all ages. By the end of March, they'll definitely be ready for some activities. And then speaking of really cool, fun activities, we have, here you go, Mr. Pieper. We have virtual game show night coming up with Mr. Pieper. It's going to be a Zoom event on March 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can register on the app. The cost for that is, it's kind of a parents' night in. So while mom or dad or whoever is maybe, relaxing with a cup of tea or a glass of wine, the kids are in having a game show night with Mr. Peeper and company. He's got some really cool things planned for this. And I just might just tune in because you know how much I love games. So I'll probably be there joining in with Mr. Beaver and his team. It's $30 per child. It's for young achievers and up. But if they bring a friend, it is absolutely free for both kiddos. So jump on that, get on the app, and get registered for the game show night on March 13th. You're not going to want to miss that. Speaking of camps, we got summer camp coming up, right? We got summer camp spots still available, right, Mr. Hansen? I don't think we're filled up for that yet, right?
No, we're about 55% full.
Okay, cool. So yeah, go on. We are a state licensed summer camp program. We have a phenomenal summer camp already planned. I've been privy to some of behind the scenes planning for summer. So jump on that and get your camper signed up for our summer camp. We also have Legacy coming up, right? We've got Legacy Night, which is open to all leadership and Legacy students. It's going to be Friday, March 19th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at KA Brookfield. Mr. Hansen, if anybody has any questions about whether they can come or not, how should they follow up with the team?
Leadership, they are, just let me know if you're not going to make it. But otherwise, I assume, and my hope is everyone makes it to who's ever in leadership and his legacy is there that night and plan on being there at 5:30 to 8:30. Anyone who needs a test for a braid, let me know now or as soon as you can. If you're on the fence about it, check in with me so that way we can talk about what you might need to do in order to be prepared for that night.
Okay, thank you. Hey, before we transition to the big surprise here at the end of the night, I wanted to just circle back once. Mr. Quirk actually had one really good point that he wanted to make everybody aware of. Not everybody will make it into candidate class, so it's not just a given, right, that people reach a certain belt rank and then they just automatically go into candidate class. Roughly 10% of candidates will not make it through candidate class. We won't even put a student on a black belt test if there's a question of failure. So the passing of the black belt test is nearly 100%. And that's something different that we do in our system. In a lot of other organizations and systems, people go through the system and just train, take class, and then they show up for their black belt test and it's pass, fail. We really, I think in our organization, and you guys as instructors really front load a ton of work over the years and months. There's a lot of science and a lot of work that's put into students to ensure that they will pass and that they can pass a black belt test. And literally those students have done those things that they're being asked to do at the test like hundreds, if not thousands of times before. So our philosophy and the way that we actually test students to black belt is different. And I think that that's an important piece. So thank you, Mr. Quirk, for bringing that up about our candidate class process. Anything you wanted to add there, Mr. Hansen?
Yeah, if they make it into candidate class and there's some question for me as to whether they'll be able to pass the test, I'm on the phone talking to parents immediately and letting them know, hey, here's what they need to do. I talk to the student right in that moment. It'll be up to them to put the work in outside of the class in order for them to stay on track to pass. So there's open communication along the way, and it's just so that way they know what they need to do. Yeah.
And one final from Ms. DeWade, woohoo, come join us for game night, March 13th. The virtual team, worldwide team is pumped and ready for that. So Mr. Hansen, what do you have for us tonight to finish off our inaugural live stream? What do you got, sir? Your mic's not on.
Sorry. Sorry. All right, I got a trivia game for you guys. And first, the family member. Now, this is staff. I know you're there. I love your support. You're not eligible to win the prizes or if you know the answer. Please allow the families a chance to answer, even though you're sitting there going, "I know the answer, Mr. Hansen."
Right. So stand down, Karate America team members. Give some family members a chance to answer some of these. Is what Mr. Hansen's saying.
Exactly. So what I have is I got a handful of questions here, and then I've got some prizes. I've got a Karate America water bottle.
Wow. Cobalt blue.
Yes.
We are heading into the summer, into the warm months. hydration is extremely important. I think we've already covered that in live stream. So there's a way to be on brand for the KA community and hydrated. I love it. Brilliant.
Yes. Candidates must have water bottles. So if they don't have one, this is a great option for them.
Aha.
Or they will be able, families may be able to win a Karate America t-shirt.
Wow. A glowing logo, a glogo, if you will, on the t-shirt. I love it. I have about 4 of those. You cannot have too many.
Exactly. So with that, I will let you know kind of which one is which here, and we'll jump right in. Mrs. Bray.
Give other people a chance there, Mrs. Bray.
Mrs. Bray was helping me with these questions.
She is like cutthroat competitor with these games and stuff, I'll tell you.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Okay, so families, here's the first family member to answer correctly will be the winner. What I need you to do is, if you're not in, hey, Mr. Orlop, good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining in with us tonight. If you are not going through the live stream platform and you come up for me as a Facebook user, please type in your name to the answer section. I'll give you a second now so that the way everyone's it's an even playing field. So write your name into the comment section so that way you're ready. You can just write in the answer from there. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. First family member to answer the question correctly will be the winner. All right. This is for a KA t-shirt. Now you can choose between the neon logoed ones or any of the other shirts that we have.
Mr. Hansen, we've established that it's a glogo.
Okay. And now I'm overruled. Mrs. Quirk says only glogo shirts are eligible. Hashtag glogo.
No, I'm just saying that's what it's called instead of the neon.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Glogo shirts or
continue.
You have a choice.
Continue.
First question. What words do we say to end all of our classes? What words do we say to end all of our classes?
For the glogo t-shirt, who's it's going to be?
What words do we say?
Aha.
Mrs. Hilbert.
Woo!
Might for right, sir. Absolutely. Or ma'am, depending on who is ending class. But might for right is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hilbert, you have won a t-shirt. I'm jotting you down here. Yeah. I'm going to grab my pen real quick. All right. Mrs. Hilbert.
I got it.
Hilbert,
I got it too, sir.
Oh, perfect. Mrs. Hilbert, anyone can stop by the Academy at any point. I've got you recorded here as winning. Pewaukee families, just give us, if it's a Pewaukee family, either Mr. Kozlowski will have one out there, or I'll make sure that he gets a water bottle or a t-shirt out there. You do not have to come to Brookfield to pick it up.
Congratulations.
Well done, Mrs. Hilbert. All right. Put in your name in the comment section for the next one.
Here we go.
This one is for a Karate America water bottle.
Okay.
I'm moving around here fast. I'm so fast the camera can hardly pick me up. This is for a water bottle. What is our purpose and how many values does Karate America have? What is Karate America's purpose and how many total number of values does Karate America have?
I feel like every single one of our staff is sitting there like physically sitting on their fingers so that they don't type.
I know, right? I do want you to type in the actual, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
Write out the purpose and then the number.
So we got a Facebook user that just said the number 12.
Ooh.
12
is not
We got Mrs. Jury that says Mrs. Jury.
Mrs. Jury is our purpose.
Hey.
I love it.
Hey, she is a very important student. We have Mr. Lawler, 12 values. We inspire people to believe in themselves and.
It is not 12 values.
That's interesting. Look at this. A lot of people think we have 12 values. That's really interesting. All right, we got a Facebook user. It's got a purpose.
The purpose.
All right, when do we open it up for staff members, Mr. Hansen?
We love you, Mrs. Jury.
We do. We got a partial purpose and 12. Interesting. Mm-hmm. That's all right, Mrs. Jury. It's our first live stream. We're all learning.
We are absolutely all learning here.
Somebody's guessing 10 values. We inspired people to believe in themselves 6. We got 6. We're just boom with the win, Miss Kaniewski.
Kaniewski got it. Yep.
Good work, Miss Kaniewski. That water bottle's got your name on it.
Mr. Lawler, you have one every month. It's close. It's close to one every month. What we do actually have built into one of the months is our life skills. And we do, there's a couple months we don't have our values, and our life skills actually are the substitute for those months. Yeah, Miss Hansen put in life skills every quarter. One of the months in each quarter of the year.
We still have those. Do we still have those values posted on our boards like we did for a long time at Brookfield, Mr. Hansen?
Oh yeah, they're posted. They're posted up at the academy.
All right. Well, good job.
I also have take-home versions for anyone. I have take-home versions for anyone who would like to take one home and put it in their refrigerator.
You know, there's a thing on SteamYard where we can ban people who are maybe becoming problematic. We got this guy coming in saying that he's not Mr. Quirk, guessing we inspire people to believe in themselves and 9, trying to get his way into a free water bottle. One warning, Mr. Quirk, come on now. I think you can do better than saying not Mr. Quirk, right? When your name and your picture's right there. So
yeah, he's definitely got a warning.
Yeah. Disappointing. Sad.
Completely.
All right, moving on.
So we have, okay, this one is going to be for a t-shirt. This one's, what are the 4 weapons the students can learn in our program? What are our 4 weapons?
The 4 weapons?
The 4 weapons that are part of our leadership curriculum as well as our weapons class curriculum.
All right, let's go. Let's see what you got, KA community. I feel like for our future ones, if we're going to keep doing this, I need like the Jeopardy music. Okay, so we have a Facebook user.
Yes.
Num chucks, commas, bow, staff, sword.
I did not say this. Please type in, whoever this user is, please type in your name.
All right, we got here. Got Mrs. Wengert, comma, sword, nunchucks, and bow staff.
I give it, spelling was not a requirement that they had to do. So the nunchucks, commas, bow staff, sword, in which we spoiled the commas with in the nunchucks. That's gonna be our winner. I just need to know who that was.
Okay. Yeah. So whoever posted this, if you could please put your name so you can claim your prize.
Autocorrect. I know autocorrect is popping in. So we're not gonna fault someone because autocorrect said no, it needs to be spelled this way. So
it looks like it is an Andrew Powers.
Mr. Powers, you are the winner, sir.
Woohoo! Congratulations. T-shirt's going home with you, sir.
Okay. Next one. This one's gonna be tough. Up until let me make sure. Okay. Up until 7 years ago, at what belt rank did double rotations start? Up until 7 years ago, at what belt rank did double rotations start? So that means they were the same belt rank for, instead of 3 months, 6 months.
Minimum.
Minimum. Minimum.
I was a student during those times, and we were all looking at that belt like, here we go. So at what belt rank in the regular, belt colors, at what belt color did the double rotation start up until 7 years ago?
Mr. Lawler guessed purple. No, it is not purple.
Good guess.
Good guess is right. Yeah. I lived
Mr.
this.
Pieper, I lived this. Yes, sir.
Brown stripe.
Brown
Zap.
stripe.
No, not brown stripe.
Woohoo, we got a Facebook user, Blue.
That is correct. Facebook
We need
user.
Facebook user to identify yourself, please.
Reveal the mystery Facebook user.
Yep, at blue belt, we had double rotations the whole way through to black belt. Still have our mystery Facebook user who is our winner.
Whoever answered blue is the correct.
Yeah, blue is the winner.
Just type your name in, or if anyone in our community can help out there. Ellie was blue. Excellent. Is that
all right? So we got time for one more, Mr. Hansen. Make it a good. I know. Make it a good one.
So many good ones. Okay.
This is our last one, guys. Last chance to go home with some merch.
All right.
Some swag.
All right. So this one's gonna be for a water bottle.
Okay.
What year was Karate America Brookfield founded, and what year was Karate America Pewaukee founded? You have to have both of them correct.
And I thought you were going to ask this, Mr. Hansen, and my shirt actually has one of the answers. So I was like trying to sit down here. So hopefully nobody was paying too much attention to my vintage KA merchandise shirt that I have on tonight.
Or if they were, good awareness.
Right, right. I like your attention to detail. We might want you for our team.
What year was Karate America Brookfield founded, and what year was Karate America Pewaukee founded?
Mr. Orloff's trying to get me to cheat. We got some shady characters on the stream tonight. What's going on?
Where are you, Mr. Orloff?
We have Mrs. Jory 2004. Don't know if that's for Brookfield or Pewaukee. Facebook user 2003. No name on Facebook user.
We're no one's hit it yet.
Yeah. Mr. Pieper's asking us to rewind the tapes. Just got more shadiness going on.
Yeah, we got
a guess here from Mara, Pewaukee 2018, Brookfield 2004. We got a guess of Brookfield 96, Pewaukee 2018.
Oh. I can say Karate America itself, the whole organization founded by Mr. Reed, was founded in 1984.
Yeah.
This is the year I was born.
It's destined. It's destined. Your destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr.
Exactly.
Lawler, Brookfield 2000, Pewaukee 2018.
No.
If nobody guesses this, I got my eye on that water bottle. Mrs. Jury, Brookfield. All right, we're going to give this about another minute. Got Mrs. Hilbert, Brookfield 2001, Pewaukee 2016.
You are close, Mrs. Hilbert. You are close.
Mara says Pewaukee 2018, Brookfield 2007. No, I don't know what this means. Ms. DeWade, Brookfield exists outside of our current timeline. That's like too deep for me at 9:46 on a Wednesday night. You're over my head, Ms. DeWade. Mrs. Deacon, Brookfield 2004, Pewaukee 2016. Brookfield 1985, Pewaukee 2018. Okay, here we go, Mr. Hansen.
I got it.
Ms. Hilbert just said Brookfield 2003, and her previous comment was Pewaukee 2016.
Mrs. Hilbert's with it. She's got it.
Ding, 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 ding.
2003 for Brookfield and 2016 for Pewaukee.
Yep. Congratulations. I don't know if you guys can see it. I got my established 03 KA Brookfield established 03 here. And yeah, Pewaukee is actually coming up this June. Pewaukee is going to have our 5th year anniversary. June 2021 is going to be our 5th year anniversary when we open Pewaukee. So that's going to be really exciting. In a couple of years here, we're going to have to like really do it up big because we're going to have our 20-year anniversary in 2023 for KA Brookfield. So that'll be exciting too. So Mr. Hansen, do you have everything that you need?
One more. Can we do a bonus?
What's that?
Can we do a bonus round?
Okay, let's do bonus round. Go for it, sir.
Okay, this one's gonna be a tough one too. This one's got a water bottle for it because
water bottle. Okay.
Most of you guys were around for this.
You got a water bottle you need to get rid of?
What's that, ma'am?
You got a water bottle you need to get rid of?
It's itching.
Okay. All right, go for it.
What is the most recent belt color added to our underbelt program? What is the most recent belt color? So between white belt and brown and black stripe, what's the most recent belt color that we've added? Little ninjas don't count.
First one is Mrs. Jury Camo.
No, outside of Little Ninjas.
Facebook user Camo. Mr. Loud Camo.
Fuchsia.
Camo stripe. We have LEB Purple.
Fuchsia I don't think will ever be a color that will happen within our belt rings.
Never say never.
That's true. That's true.
Got Orange Stripe as a guess. Mrs. Deacon, Purple White Stripe. Mara saying green, Purple White Stripe from Facebook user. Mrs. Wengert, Purple White Stripe. Come on, who wants that water bottle? Mara saying brown, black stripe. Blue, white stripe. Mr. Orlop needs to start his own hashtag. Hashtag fuchsia belt. Team fuchsia belt. Who's with him?
Mr. Lawler.
Ooh, Mr. Lawler.
You're the winner.
Black stripe.
Purple black stripe.
Congratulations.
That is accurate. When I came through, I was one of the first students with the purple and black stripe.
Yeah.
It just started right as I was moving through. I was also one of the last students to have no wall between the two floors at Brookfield.
And you walked uphill in the snow both ways to get to karate class, right, Mr. Hansen?
I did.
Well, listen, our 15 to 20 minute awesome, amazing first ever live stream, which has been so successful because of you, Mr. Hansen, and every single one of you from our KA community who joined us and stuck with us and commented and asked questions tonight, has gone almost an hour. How did I know that this was going to happen? When we get together as a community, we start talking about martial arts, we start having fun. I tell you, I don't know where the time's going. Did you have fun tonight, Mr. Hansen?
I did. I loved it. When we were about 30 minutes in, I saw like the number of users was increasing at 30 minutes, and I was like, oh boy, all right, we're going. This is great. So,
we're going all the way to 10.
guys.
Thank you, Mr. Quirk. Very proud of our community. I am very proud too. So guys, the intention with doing these live streams, this is really truly something for our families, for our students. We're going to be doing them every single Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. We're going to be going live on our private Facebook group page. We're going to be going live on our Karate America community YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed over there, make sure you head over to Karate America YouTube channel and subscribe. So if you're not in the private group, you can follow us on YouTube. And our intention with these is just to give another way for us to come together as a community, talk, have fun, get your questions answered, and interact with staffs, instructors. We're going to have some really special guests actually coming up even from outside of our organization in the months ahead. So we're trying to bring you guys a lot of value and a lot of connection and engagement on this platform. So anything you'd like to say to everybody, Mr. Hansen, before we tune out for the night?
Well, I've set the bar pretty high for anyone else with prizes and a game. So good luck to anyone who is a staff member coming after me.
Mr. Hansen, I mean, not only, his humility, really, as one of his top qualities, but probably close behind humility is just his ability to just rock it and nail it on live streams. So yeah, he has set the bar. Next week, we are actually going to have Mr. Quirk and Ms. Hansen are going to be our special guests. Tonight, we talked about master's team and candidate class and that kind of aspect and a part of the black belt journey. Next week, please tune back in, guys, because we're going to be talking about beginners and maybe about the first 1 to 2, even 3 years of training and being part of our community as beginners, as little ninjas. So it's going to be a really fun live stream next week too. I can't wait to see hopefully everybody plus some new people back with us next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Be here. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was an awesome live stream and it was successful because all of you joined us tonight. So thank you for the support. Have a great rest of your night. Go get some sleep.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Hansen. Thank you for your time, sir.
Absolutely.